ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to GV4. What was it yesterday? 85?
45.
Yeah, 45. This is 45.5 because it's not a full newscast. The reason we're doing this is because, as we've talked about this whole week, we got Jurassic World, we got Games Fest, we got a whole, like, GeekVerse Gauntlet stuff, Strikers, a whole bunch of stuff where it's like, okay, we want to talk about this trailer because we don't want to wait for a full week till the next newscast. So this is just going to be kind of like if you guys listen to the cutouts. If you don't know what cutouts are, usually we post the full episodes and then we have all, like, our main, like, highlight topics, like 3 to 4 other smaller episodes that are just sometimes 10 to 20 minutes. So maybe you have no interest in anything from the episode but one topic, you can go listen to that. So that's what this kind of is. We won't do the whole rigmarole, the spiel, and everything like that. You know where to find us. The link's below. Oh, Kirklin he's excited about his trailer. Yeah, he's like, boom. You know where to find us down below. The 485 Hierarchy Edition, 100%. Yeah, about hierarchy is about to change in the DC universe. But so yeah, we're gonna talk about Black Adam trailer and everything down below is where to find us. Patreon, the best way to support us. So all that jazz. Follow us on social media because that trailer scared me because in the stream yards people can't see it if they've never been on it. But I'm like, who the fuck's the bad guy joining? Who's the bad guy? But so Kirklin Patzer, we had this movie. Obviously, it was coming out in July at one point, and then now it's been moved to October of this year. It's The Rock's first venture into the superhero world. Lots of build up. He was announced for this role like over 10 years ago. Something this movie's been in development hell. Many directors, but here we are. We've seen little teasers and glimpses of it at DC Fandom, stuff like that, but this was the full-on trailer. Now, apparently this was very similar or the identical trailer that they showed at CinemaCon like a month ago, but we didn't see it in the public, so we get to talk about it. So what did you think about this trailer?
I thought the trailer did a good job at just building upon my hype. I think that first teaser was really just setting the tone and like what to expect from the character of Black Adam, and I think I was all thumbs up like from that version of it. And here it's showing a little bit more of what the story or what to expect with the story and kind of where his alignment is. Like it's going to be that big. Oh, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Like where's he fully aligned? I'm definitely getting those vibes from this trailer. And I think the look of like The Rock as Black Adam, I really like it more with the hood on. It's got a really good look to it personally, and I think maybe when he doesn't have it, it's just because The Rock is in so many things. I just see him as The Rock, so it's like when it's just his bald head, it's just like okay, I don't really see Black Adam right now. I just kind of see The Rock in this cool outfit, but hopefully that changed by the movie release date. But all in all, I'm still positive on it. I think this trailer did a good job at again just showcasing some other characters like the Hawkman.
He is Hawkman.
Oh, is he Hawkman?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
awesome.
Not the
Great
Hawkman,
guess.
but Hawkman.
That was great guess. Yeah.
You should roll with it. The Hawkman.
Should roll it. Yeah, he like his aesthetic looks so badass in my eyes. I think his outfit looks really cool, and Pierce Brosnan's character, I'm excited to find out more with him. And gosh, do I have to watch Shazam like leading up to this? Because I still haven't seen that.
No, but if you were going to be on the review for the second one, you're going to have to. So you may as well just pop it in.
Yeah.
You know, like they are connected. So if you're planning on reviewing that second one, may as well, you know.
Yeah, so might as well throw that on and lead up to this. But yeah, all in all, I'm positive on it.
So you were talking about this a little bit with The Rock. I'm not sure if you feel the exact same way as All in the Game, but he says The Rock can't disappear into the characters. So Dwayne Johnson as Hobbs in a superhero costume. At least make an effort to make him look like the character. The comedy feels tired and cliched. I feel like you agree with that, but not maybe as harshly. Like, I don't know about if you feel tired and cliched on it, but I feel like your point out similar that you just kind of see Dwayne Johnson right now.
Yeah, I think like that first teaser that we got of him just like in that room, like showcasing like the lightning power that he has and just
very
like
Mortal
decimating
Kombat
dudes.
is.
Yeah, that I'm like, okay, this is Black Adam in my eyes. Again, maybe I should have prefaced like I have no experience with Black Adam, so I don't know what to expect other than I think he's an anti-hero.
Villain, and now his days is kind of like an anti-hero, but he did start mainly as a villain.
There you go. I mean, I love my anti-heroes. I got Venom next to me here, so I think that showcase of like what he can actually do with his powers, and I think that's what gives me hope that I can look past Dwayne Johnson in the role, and I actually will be able to see Black Adam. But I mean, time will tell. If there's a lot of just dialogue of him just talking like The Rock, maybe that'll be a little bit hard to see the character.
In the
But I don't
middle,
know.
he's just
I'm
like, if you
optimistic.
smell what Black Adam's cooking, everyone's like, oh, he butchered this fucking character.
10 years in the making, folks.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I've talked about this with Heinz a few times, and I had preferenced this. Like, I feel like this trailer was a bit of a come to Jesus. Now, I feel like some of these people are still excited, but there's two things that I kind of always kind of knew and had said before, but people are going, oh no, like, like this is gonna be different. But like the two things was we're never gonna get The Rock as a villain. Now I like what they're proposing. I guess I should say I like this trailer overall. I like it. I'm excited for it. I think it isn't. Oh shit, sorry, Mike. I think it is unfortunate that this got bumped out of summer because this looks like a good summer movie. When I see this trailer, this doesn't scream October to me. You know, this doesn't scream like the
No.
same time as Halloween Kills or others like that Halloween season. This to me would have been not. I'm not saying to be the level of Top Gun, but that sort of just enjoyable big blockbuster superhero movie. Now you do have Thor coming out, so maybe they could argue that hey, that's kind of taking that slot. But still, I think there's still room for multiple big blockbusters. So I think it does play more as a summer movie. So I think that kind of sucks for it. But either way, the two things was I never believed that The Rock was going to ever be a villain just because I think The Rock legitimately, he comes from the wrestling world, legitimately believes like perception is reality. And if he plays a villain, that would like hurt him as a leading man elsewhere. But people just got to explain to him like it's fucking acting. Like you wouldn't be knowing like I think you're getting a very much an anti-hero story because even this whole trailer is, oh, they killed my son, they took my people. It's like already you're not making it's like, oh, like you'd have to make it from the hero's perspective, and then he comes in and he's doing all this bad shit, and then for a while you think, okay, he is the bad guy. Then it gets revealed almost like a Thanos. Oh, this is why he's doing it. But right off the bat, you're revealing why he's doing it. It's a pretty good reason. This guy's family was taken away from him. His people were taken away from him. So it's like, sure, I could be kind of mad about him killing people, but one, he has this tragic backstory where he might be killing the right people. Two, I don't know whoever said it, like, oh, you know, I think it was maybe him in the trailer, like, oh, heroes don't kill, but I do. It's like, yeah, at the same time, again, people make their jokes, but this is the DCU where they're known for Batman that kills, Superman is killed, Wonder Woman is killed, all these, like the Suicide Squad, like all these heroes already kill. Now, my argument is, I guarantee you that maybe because this is the Justice Society of America, maybe they don't kill, like this certain group doesn't kill, and this is it's been iffy if it's like set in the past or not. But if it's set in the past, let's say it's like even in the 60s or 70s or something like that, that's where you could easily say, oh, this is why the heroes don't kill, because back then they had that idea, and as time went forward, they kind of lost it a bit. So
Yeah.
that was one where I never thought he was going to play a villain. I just always thought he's going to make an anti-hero. He's going to jump to that stage with all the build up. And two, I always kind of heard this sentiment because we saw some of the teasers, the footage, and that first teaser from Fandom where, yeah, he was just like Mortal Kombating people. There's so much, and not trying to rain on the parade, but I feel like lots of the Snyder camp people like really glommed on this. Like, hey, this is the DC I really like. This is the tone. There's a vibe. They maybe peeled a bit more darker. Where I thought everything up until this point, you could argue that this trailer, I like the trailer, but a lot more comedic than I thought we were gonna get, and a lot more of like the Rock type of comedy. Where, and again, I don't dislike that. It's just you need to know. I think I suppose it's saying this here. The Rock is just gonna be the Rock, but personally, that isn't really an issue for me. I can see why it's annoying for fans of the character, and that's how I feel. Where I actually quite like Black Adam. I've read him in like crossovers, and I think I've read a few solo issues here and there where I like that idea because he is almost like a Magneto type of villain where you always understand where he's coming from. But I never thought we were going to get that fully with The Rock. But then at the same time, we probably would never get a Black Adam movie without The Rock. Maybe no,
Yeah.
okay, I won't say never, but like the way it was always like,
To
oh,
this
we're gonna make
extent.
exactly the way. Oh, it was stuck for years where they keep working on it. The Rock was propelling that forward, so it's a double-edged sword that way. But like between that joke with the baton, it hits him and it folds, and like when he catches the rocket, I had heard about that moment where he caught the rocket and from the trailers, and then like he like threw it back or something. When I read it, this is why it always is the difference between a description and the trailer. Taylor, you know, when he's talking about trailer descriptions back in the day and stuff like that, I read that as a much more epic, like serious thing. But when he caught it in this trailer, it wasn't like for chuckles, but it was very kind of minute, like oh, like he's like looking at it just like it's a like a nothing sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and that's what I suppose I've not been online today, but he says the Snyder fans were hating this trailer, saying it was the worst DC trailer ever. And it's funny because like I feel like first of all, that's a bold claim, but like I feel like a few months ago they were saying this was gonna be like the closest thing to a Snyder movie you could get, and the second we got this trailer, like like unfortunately, the closest thing you're gonna get to Snyder is if Snyder comes back. Like, if you want that Snyder tone, that like it's the same way. I can't look at any director and be like, man, I hope they give me a Nolan tone. It's like Snyder does his Snyder thing, you know. And even
Yeah.
because even then, like I feel like Joker, which is the Joaquin Phoenix one, that's a super dark, arguably more darker than the Snyder stuff. The Batman's just as dark, but it doesn't. Those don't feel exactly like Snyder movies. Like they feel like their own different things. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like people are kind of looking at this, like putting their hopes and dreams into it, but. I liked the trailer. I guess the only thing that makes me sound more negative on it, was expecting to be a bit more blown away. I was expecting it to. Okay, I was interested, but the second we get a trailer, this movie is going to jump up in maybe not my top 5, but top 10 most anticipated movies right now. I don't think it's there because now we're getting like lots of stuff like "Don't Worry, Darling" and what is it? Did they change the title to Australia now? Oh, Amsterdam, Amsterdam. That
Mm-hmm.
Cadbury glass. Like
Yeah.
now we're getting those movies where it's like, oh yeah, we're getting trailers for it. So I still thought it would have been my top 10. Not so much now. Like I'm definitely looking forward to it more than Shazam 2, but it's not on like the Thor level.
Yeah.
And I will say maybe it's a little, I won't say dampened because I don't really care about this, but it's perked my ears where I was on the vodka stream this week and I hadn't seen this. So I think Dave had heard about this from people first before it kind of went out there that we had known people who were seeing Flash and there was like mixed, but those were more positive and Warren Buds apparently happy with that. Apparently like the test screens for Black Adam like didn't go the greatest he had heard from some people.
Mm.
And like they're already doing reshoots, but that's where it might be okay. This might be a very bare bones type of movie. And that's what this looked like. It looked like a fun superhero adventure, but nothing that's reinventing the wheel. Nothing we haven't maybe seen before. Just that, okay, it's Rock and certain characters like Hawkman, Dr. Fate that we want to see on screen. So, yeah, and again, test screens don't matter because people could have told me like look at Rogue One. Everyone fucking loves Rogue One. So you could tell me, oh, people 1,000 people saw Rogue One that theater and they loved it, and I saw it and went, oh, this is fine. So people that saw Black Adam could be like, oh, this is just fine. I could see I fucking love it, but
Yeah.
yeah, the trailer I like it, but didn't like ratchet up the excitement like I thought it was going to do, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. Because I think with just how dark and intense that first teaser was, like to go from that to this, I totally makes sense to have expectations like in that camp because if
Mhm.
we had, what this trailer's 2 minutes long, like if we had 2 minutes of just like that level of intensity of what that teaser brought,
Oh
I
yeah.
think I think it definitely would have been on that level of hype for me. But you brought up some good points for sure of like it's showing me the ingredients of what's going to be in my meal, which I'm
Mhm.
going to be happy with it. Like it doesn't matter how many times I see The Rock play basically the exact same type of character. Like he's still great. Like he still has really great charisma and the roles that he plays. But this role is a little bit different than like some of the other things that you could jot him down to being in. Like I rewatched Jumanji's not too long ago, and then the
Mm.
other one was like Jungle Cruise. So like that's the Rock I have in my head. I don't really
Yeah.
think Black Adam should be that type of character.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say because I was talking about that with Clay in the GUA chat where he's talking about like he just doesn't want the like a Hobbs and Shaw, almost like All in the Game was saying as far as
Yeah.
this goes. There, Brock plays like not himself, but he plays at times himself, a caricature of himself. But like Kirkman was saying, there's levels to it. So like I feel like Hobbs and Shaw, Jumanji, like what was the other one, Jungle Cruise. Those are on a higher level of like he's very acting it up, stuff like that. I think he will be good in this because I do think he's going to play him with the edge. You're just going to get some of that Rock charisma there, but I don't think like what he does with Hobbs in the Fast and Furious franchise is what he's going to do here. I really don't. You'll have some of those maybe comedic moments, but the actual character, I think he will play this one more seriously, almost like Hobbs in the first, like in Fast Five. But I'm not actually worried that he's going to be in there like looking for chuckles and everything. I think the movie may have a bit more jokes than we thought, but I don't think he's going to be kind of that type of Rock. So that's
Yeah.
not really a worry for me.
Right on. Shall we pull up the trailer?
Yeah, let's see what there's to talk about here. And I'm excited because that's how I thought this trailer was just fine because I never actually watched it again. Most trailers, I'm like, oh, I gotta watch it again. I didn't watch this again. So
Let's get in
Th-
there.
yeah, this is another movie that's using the volume and stuff
Beautiful
like that. Like,
ship.
yeah, clearly that's not the volume, but so you got him. He's looking skinny Rock here.
What's
He's
the
gonna go through
volume
s-
that you're talking about?
That's the thing like Mando uses and Obi-Wan and like Loki.
Oh,
That room.
yeah, okay. And like Thor had that right in the trailer that they showcased.
Yes,
Or
yeah, that was the
that's when we
first
went
MCU
up.
movie I think with, and the Batman used it too in COVID. So this was one that used it as well. So it's
Okay.
hopefully used well.
I love Pierce Brosnan's look just for his
Oh
character
yeah,
right now. I don't know if it's bold like exactly what he looks like in the comics, but he just I love his like what is that? It's like a kerchief or something
yeah,
like around his neck. He looks great. I love it.
yeah. Like he's definitely a bit older than usually what he is, but it works for that character because
Okay.
he's mostly magic based and stuff like that. So and lots of cool stuff here, and that's why I think we're gonna get like a lot of that. The stuff we really like in the trailer at the very beginning of it, you know, like the
Mhm.
darker stuff. I think because it's gonna show him at like his lowest points and stuff like that. But you know, that's fine. Happens.
Absolutely.
And we've definitely seen a lot of these shots. Like, yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
you. I agree with you about
Look at that shot.
the cape though.
Like
That's a great shot, and that's why I think cinematic or like cinematography, we could have some good stuff in there.
yeah. No, absolutely.
Let's see, there's lots
Great
of ship
drop.
stuff there. Yeah, Hawkman looking
Hawkman, not
great.
the Hawkman.
The
Who's
Atom
this guy?
Crusher. That's Adam Crusher. He's like an Ant-Man type. Like I actually think he could have been first. I don't know, but you know,
Okay.
just similar. And then you got Ken Nelson there, Pierce Bronson. So yeah, lots of cool stuff here. I guess my only thing is they show a lot of just in this city. So I wonder if there's like this is the third act and it's like a lot of it takes place. Great stare down though. What are you
Great
gonna laugh
stare
at?
down. I was
though?
just laughing at Hawkeye's eyes. They just look so much like wider.
Hawkman.
Jeez. We just did a Marvel talk, before this episode. But
So what looks better, this or Thor's helmet in Love and Thunder?
definitely this.
Definitely
I'll give-
this, yeah.
Definitely this. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though I think he might look better without the helmet on, but you know, yeah, right there. Pause it right there. Yeah, yeah. That was the first like. Oh, now again, I might laugh at this. It might be fine in the context of the film, but it was not what I was expecting. I think
yeah.
everything we've gone so far, showing his son, showing tragedy, showing him kill people, showing the other heroes, showing him stare at Hawkman, was like, okay, yeah, like it wasn't like crazy stuff for me. Like, okay, this is what I was expecting. And then it's funny because this happens at the 109 mark, almost halfway. This is like where it shifts. Like, okay, we're gonna have a bit more of a good time. Like, look at this guy's reaction. You know?
Oh
So,
yeah. He definitely looks like those over the top like character villain, things
Oh,
that we've
yeah.
seen before.
Before you go, All in Game says, unlike Arnie, Stallone, and Willis, The Rock, as a leading man at this stage of his career, doesn't have a well-respected, iconic movie characters like Terminator, Predator, Rocky, Rambo, or Die Hard. I agree, but you gotta look at it in a different context where his iconic character is The Rock. You know, like
yeah.
again, now don't get me wrong, that Stallone, he has Rambo and Rocky, right? Like he has multiple. I'm not saying The Rock couldn't go and do that. I'm not, and I would still put The Rock below those guys as far as action icons. But like Arnold had to go make the Terminator become a big thing, and then he went on to do other things, right? Where The Rock, he came from wrestling, and The Rock that's one of the most popular mainstream acts of all time. People knew, who Dwayne Johnson, like back in the 90s, even if you didn't like wrestling, you knew who The Rock was and you knew who Stone Cold was. Like those were just two fixtures of that era of just 90s pop culture. So that's where he kind of, not that's it's a cheat saying, oh, The Rock is his most famous character, but that is kind of it. And like Kirk, for you, when you say The Rock in film, what's the first thing you think about? Because I do think that I would counter that it's not as iconic as Rambo or Terminator, but I do think Hobbs is his big, like, that was Fast and Furious. I think people know that from Fast and Furious. It's a multi-billion-dollar franchise. So I feel like I would count Hobbs as an iconic character to me, in my like iconic loosely of just like this generation.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any of like the Hobbs like inclusion movies like with the Fast and Furious movies. I think I've just seen Fast 5, so like that's the first one that he's in, I believe.
Yeah,
And then he goes on to being more in there. So like for me personally, it's probably like Jumanji, I guess, just whatever his like most recent thing is, but it's also just like The Rock. Like I just like I don't see him as Dwayne Johnson. It's just like you said, like the character that he plays is The Rock, and like it's he had to put in so much effort to like get to that level, right? So you definitely got to appreciate just the work he's had to do to make The Rock like be this thing that is like the highest paid actor like in the world, and just always
years
making
over.
so busy. Yeah, it's insane.
And that's the thing you could almost argue to counterpoint All in the Game, where you're completely right. At the end of the day, where you go, what's the iconic roles? But then you could say that The Rock's making these massive box office movies with not the iconic roles. Like he doesn't have sequels other than Fast and Furious to go back to. He's doing
Yeah.
his San Andreas. He's doing the fucking Rampage
Skyscraper movie.
Yeah, he's
Made probably like
Skyscraper.
$1
Yeah.
billion. Didn't that
It
one
didn't.
make like
It
so
didn't.
much money?
I think it made like enough. They always
was
make
big in
enough where it's
China.
hit. Yeah, it was big in China or something like that. But like he still does. He's and obviously Jumanji, that was a hit. So I think he's just a smart. He's less about I think the iconic roles and more about the brand, which is smart because then
Yeah.
anytime the Rock's and something, same thing. I if you were to ask me when this movie would do better versus July and October, I'd say probably July. I'd have to see what's falling competition wise, but this movie will still be profitable. It doesn't matter because I guarantee that people see these trailers like GA and they see this comedic moment with the baton and they go, "Oh, that's the fucking Rock. That's who I love.
Yeah.
Like that's who I want to see." So I think they're smart that way. They know people want to see the Rock. So
Absolutely.
I think a baton. That guy's gonna get. He literally gets
He
chucked.
gets launched.
I like that. He went very far, very
That's
far.
fall.
And you got these snipers that are gonna try
Fall.
and
That's
take
like
him out.
September, bro.
That's like September, bro, man.
We got some Top Gun moments.
I actually really enjoy that shot where again I don't know what the context is here, but it's the two fire pilots and he just fucking smashed that wing. That's
Yeah.
cool. Like if this gives us a lot of like GTA, Superman, Incredible, Ultimate Hulk destruction, but it's because he is an anti-hero and kind of get away with it. That's great. Because when heroes are destroying towns, you always feel like a little like, I don't know about this. But when it's Black Adam, like, yeah, fuck, go ahead, destroy that
Yeah.
fire pilot. Who cares? I guarantee you that fire pilot, he's gonna survive. I promise you, he will
Oh
survive.
yeah, we're gonna see a shoot go off or something.
100%. He's gonna save more people than Ben Affleck's Batman has. You know.
Yeah, I think like this moment and that initial shot wherever he is, like the teaser trailer shot where he's just like shooting lightning bolts out of his hands, like these are the ones that seem the most villainous.
Mhm.
And I think that it's only like two basically in the entire trailer really makes me think that he is going to be the more hero route. And on top of everything else that you mentioned, the fact that it's just The Rock, and it's just tough for me to see him being this like straight villain character that has no redemption arc or anything like that. He's just a straight bad guy. Like
Mhm.
it's hard on paper to see The Rock play that character, but also just from what's been shown in this trailer, I don't think we're going to be getting that.
And I think what they're going to do is anytime they make The Rock feel like a villain, it's going to be that he has a goal, Justice Society have a similar goal, but they want to go about it in different ways. That
Yeah.
classic mix up because they've shown concept art of him fighting Hawkman. I think he's going to fight all the Justice Society, but that's how I think they're going to do it, where from their point of view, he's on the wrong side of things. But from us as the viewer, you can kind of see it both ways. Or it kind of be like
Yeah.
almost a Civil War effect or BVS to extent too, where it's like, oh, I can see where, you know, I don't agree because I think BVS has some holes in it, but like for that, it's like okay, I can see their perspective, I can see his perspective, so they might pay him to be
Exactly.
the villain that way, you know.
Return of the Sith, same thing, or Revenge of the Sith. Sorry, you know you can
Almost
see both
Return of the
sides.
Sith, yeah, exactly, yeah, from his point of view, you know. So he's flying right there. A lot of people don't like the filter that's on this movie, with the orange and yellow. I see it there. I do see it. Their point is on some shots, and some shots I feel it works, and other shots I go, yeah, they should take it off. Like this city one is one where I'm like, yeah, this looks a bit too yellow orangey almost because it's that filter's almost over all the film footage that we see.
Yeah, it makes it all kind of seem like the same. Like I
Yeah.
get it if you're just in that one city and you have that effect, but yeah, I agree with you. It might have been a little bit overdone. Is that a statue of him in the back?
It could be because he's a leader of people, so
Yeah. Okay.
or it's the Scorpion King.
Where's the Scorpion King?
Yeah,
I was just curious what because I just know so little about Black Adam. Like, what am I expecting here? Like, does he just have his own planet? Does he have his own country? Like what Doctor Doom kind of has in the comics?
Yeah, it's kind of similar to Doctor Doom, I'd say. Something like that. Yeah, I can't even remember if it's like its own plan or whatnot, because again, I'm not the biggest in Shazam and Black Adam lore, so chat, you can let us know the exact, but I feel like it's a Doctor Doom, Thanos type situation. And
Yeah.
Espo is completely right, because I remember people shouting this out as a pro for Moon Knight when they went to Egypt and it didn't have like that like that golden light brown tinge, and that's what this is. Espo says it's the Egypt Mexico filter. 100%. It's to let you know, hey,
yeah.
you're in one of these places.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess follow-up question is like how does he get in this position of just like ruling people, or just tune into the movie to find out?
I'd say, yeah, watch the movie for that. I think the first
Okay.
15 minutes you're gonna get all that sort of stuff, you
Yeah.
know. So,
Okay.
or go pick up a comic book at your local comic book shop.
There you
Do you
go.
think it's just like a
Look at that
regular
shot.
army?
Gorgeous.
Like,
I love
yeah,
it.
the hood's definitely where it's at. You know,
Oh, yeah.
that's the look to go. That's the costume I want for Halloween is the hoods.
Oh, 100%. What were you gonna ask?
Oh, that guy looking like he was a little Master Chief's, like that armor on that bike. That was some heavy duty bike armor, you
He's
know?
got more armor than Master Chief does in that show.
Yeah. And then Pierce Brosnan's just being like, Brosnan's just like, you can be a savior or,
That's up to
conquer or
you.
whatever. Yeah, that's up to you. It's just like, I like even how the cape's like ripped and stuff. This was not, I was not a fan of this. None of this. It's the two things. It's one is when he catches the rocket, which I talk about, but it's like he goes up to this van and they're like really scared, and they're like rolling up the windows, and he like creepily like just goes beside them. Yeah, and like that like why was that? That's I don't even think
Unnecessary.
that's not even cool. Like so what happens is the bomb goes off, it's smoke, and then his hand just like comes up on the thing. It's just yeah. Straight like I said, I like the first half of the trailer a lot better. Second half gives me a bit more pause as far as again, not that I'm like, oh, I'm worried about this movie, just as like, okay, I'm going in expecting a 7 out of 10. That's where I am now. Where before I was expecting like maybe an 8.5. My barometer's at a 7, which I'm always fine with a 7. Great. Like,
Like, what's he doing here?
yeah, what is he doing? Like it's just like this simple Adam here, like what's going on?
I
But
think he's got his eyebrow raised too. He's doing just all the
yeah, he might
rockisms.
be. Yeah. But yeah, that's where I think this trailer kind of left me where I know where my expectations are a bit better, so that's good. But then it sucks that it's a little lower. So
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I think after that teaser, I was higher on my expectations,
Mhm.
and then getting the full trailer, it's a little bit lower. But I mean, as long as the visuals are great and The Rock is just at his regular standard, I think I'm definitely gonna come out of it enjoying it.
Oh yeah, and again, like that fireplace, there could be some great fight scenes, stuff like that. So I think there's still lots we haven't seen here, and I'm very interested to see how it all goes down. Yeah, probably some juicy post credits and this fucking hand. Oh man, some lightning coming off that finger though, but that's good. But
Yeah.
singers vocalizing, Black Adam, great logo. Have you seen the poster?
It's pretty bland, isn't
Poster's
it?
fucking boring as shit. It's just him
Yeah.
like looking somewhere. But again, you know what that poster is? It's The Rock. He's in our movie and he's playing a superhero. You'll see it because The Rock's in this, and people go, "Yeah, I will see that because The Rock's in it."
So
It's as
true.
simple as
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
100%. And then all the other marketing department people that have to like go out of their way to sell a movie. Meanwhile, they could just have
Yeah.
a single image of The Rock, and then you're gonna
The
be
everything,
getting a
the
profitable
everything,
movie.
everywhere all at once posters, like putting everything, like all their hard work, and just like, okay, Dwayne, you just want to stand there and look like you grimace? Okay, we're good. We got the poster wrapped. It's like, fuck, man, like that's all you did. But anything else to add on this trailer, Kirkland?
I don't think so. Are we expecting this to be the last trailer? Or do you
No,
think
we'll
get
get one
another
more because this
Yeah.
is only June, so we got a long way to go.
Right.
October. I think that I don't think we. I guess we don't got any other DC films coming up. So yeah, we'll get something with some big movie. What I don't know, but I'm guessing probably something Warner Brothers has. They'll attach it to that. So
Yeah. Right on.
yeah. Well, this is a fun little cutout 1.5. Let us know what you thought of the trailer. That's why you join Discord. We've talked about there. And yeah, we'll be back with some gaming news coming up, some regular news next week, bunch of reviews. Promise you, not be boring.